I like to go in the rabbit hole, and then I like to climb out, binge watch Sex and the City, and then climb back in. Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm Christy, and we're the Clarity Girls.
And we bring to you another episode of Spirituality.
So we're drinking.
We're drinking.
And talking about spirituality.
Anyway, we want to talk about spiritual expectations because I think that there's a lot of pressure that comes with being spiritual, right?
Right. I think, when you talk about being spiritual or you are considered to be on some level a spiritual person, I think there are certain expectations, and sometimes the expectations are tough to live up to.
Well, and sometimes it's such a contrast between who you were and who you are aspiring to be that it doesn't feel authentic. And I think that even like when we first started, I was just saying to Christy, even when we first started, I felt like I was like maybe way more down the rabbit hole than I am currently, even though I'm like 4 years into my spiritual journey.
She's like in and out of the rabbit hole.
I like to go in the rabbit hole, and then I like to climb out, binge watch Sex and the City, and then climb back in.
It's fine, and that's what you can do, though.
Yes.
It's your life. It's your spiritual path, and that's the point.
Right. So you don't have to be all spiritual all the time. And I think there is a pressure to do that. And when you get around spiritual people, there's a pressure to make sure your energy is good. And sometimes your energy is going to be crap.
Yeah, I mean, I've been around spiritual friends before, and I've gone to stand near them, and they will take a step back and go, "Oh my God, your energy!" Right? Because we just acknowledge each other's energy, but you know what? Sometimes my energy is going to be shitty. In fact, today my energy is shitty.
It's a little hard to sit next to her, but I'm doing it for you guys to prove a point.
That's why she's drinking wine.
But there are a lot of expectations, and one of the expectations, which is its own thing. We respect whatever people are doing. We respect whatever your preferences are, what you feel is right. But I just don't think there's a right and wrong when it comes to spirituality.
Right, exactly.
I don't think there's one path. I don't think there's one way. I don't think anything is correct because in reality, nobody fucking knows.
Exactly. And I think that the most important thing is for us to be listening to that little voice inside and what makes us feel good and what feeds our soul and what fills us up. And if we're listening to what somebody else tells us fills us up, it's not always going to fill us up.
Right.
It's not always going to work.
Right, and I think the biggest part of spirituality that people miss and they get lost in the rules and the routines and the rituals are just those pieces of knowing yourself. Like, if there's anything about spirituality, like for me, that's what it is. It's about me knowing myself. It's about me not letting myself down. And that's a standard I set for myself. But, I think there are a lot of rules people will hand you when you start to work on your spirituality of and there's a lot of things to think about. Are my chakras aligned? I haven't checked my chakras in I don't know last time I formally checked my chakras, but when I was first doing spirituality, I made sure 3 times a day that I was perfectly aligned because there's a perfectionism that comes even with spirituality. Isn't that weird?
Right. And it's sometimes you just have to throw the rules out the window and make your own rules. Right? Because so many times where so many people are stepping into this spiritual life and coming from a more religious life, but I think we have to continue to not have these expectations. I think that's where people run into issues with that, is when there are major rules, major expectations, that black and white expectation, and it makes it really hard for people to just be themselves and to listen to their soul.
Totally. And I think you can get lost in sort of, I don't want to say people pleasing, but acting in ways that make other people accept you. And if we think of the true definition of connection, it's not false acceptance of being someone you're trying to fit in. It's being yourself and having people love that. And that's one of the things. Christy and I are celebrating our 4-year Clarity anniversary today.
Yay!
Yay! So that's one of the things that I love about us, is that we can sit here, swear, drink wine, and still consider ourselves spiritual leaders because we give people permission to be themselves. We try to mix spirituality with our reality, and teach it in a way that people understand whatever works for you, whatever you like and you love, whatever brings you joy. There's no expectation, there's no judgment on our parts, there's no judgment from, hopefully from yourself, of just following that intuition wherever it leads you.
And I think that's what we need here on this earth. That's basically what we need for humanity, is to just love each other and just support each other and let each and every one of us be the individual that we are and believe what we believe and approach things in the way that we approach things, and to giggle at the things that you think are funny. Like, there are some spiritual practices that still make me giggle a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that I still don't quite get. I won't list them because I don't want it to come across as judgment. But
I'm listing them in my head and giggling at the same time because somebody once cured me by tapping me with a pool noodle, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll have an experience and you'll want to giggle, and you know what? It's okay.
It's okay. And go with what feels right to you. When all these practices are laid on the table, you explore them, you feel them out, and you don't have to stick with them. Like I said, sometimes I come back to reality and I read I was reading young adult novels for a solid week or two, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. The Love, Simon book, Simon versus the Homo sapiens, or I think that's what it was. But just gets you back into your body, gives you a chance to take a break from working on yourself, because it's hard to chronically be working on yourself, and it's hard to chronically be working on your spirituality. So you have to have some level of balance when it comes to spirituality and the real physical world, your day-to-day life. It's easy, it's hard to incorporate both of them, so you have to really balance it out and see where you're putting your time and energy and how it feels one place or another.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it comes back to that concept that we just keep repeating. Listen to yourself. Listen to what you need. Those of you that know me know that I'm obsessed with Bravo. I'm obsessed with The Real Housewives.
Yes.
That's what I spend my time doing. That in my non-spiritual practice time.
Yeah.
Is I love to watch me some Real Housewives, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So enjoy whatever brings you joy. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, because we are delivering you the most awesome wine-infused episodes weekly.
Or gin-infused.
Or gin-infused. Christy goes hard here, Clarity, so...
Gangster.
But make sure to like and subscribe, and if you want more information on Clarity, make sure to hit us up on our website at www.discoveryourawakening.com.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.